Hey there. So what is the 30-day training challenge? Well, put simply, it's this. You have a program now. You're going to follow that program 6 days a week, ideally in the morning. Now, why in the morning? Why are the workouts 20 to 30 minutes? Well, I will teach you that as we go through these 30 days. I want to get this brief and I want us to get into action. We want to start creating that momentum by just getting our hands dirty, by getting these workouts scheduled. So you're going to decide, what time of day am I going to train? You want to put these in writing. This got to be real. If you say, oh, I'm just going to work out in the morning, well, you could get distracted and end up, now it's 8 o'clock at night. Now you're training at night and that's going to disrupt your sleep. And so make sure that you get this in the morning. This is based off of 10 years of research with Tony's Platinum Partners. So I've been doing these experiments, which I call challenges, like we're doing here, but it's where we have a group of people doing a bunch of things that are similar. They are similar in their beliefs. The beliefs that, for instance, I create my circumstance. I'm not a victim of life, I'm the creator of it. I'm a leader of my life. And you can change your life based off of how you think, how you control your emotions, and the actions you take. And so in a group of people like that, like-minded people like you, we find that achievers will find something else to do if they don't schedule it. They will find someone to help. They will find some way to create value in the world. That is what we all do. We're all in the same boat here. And so we have to acknowledge the things that make us great and the things that also sometimes hold us back. So schedule those workouts in the morning. If something happens you can't get in the morning, get it in as soon as you can. But make it a must. You do not miss. You train 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday. You want to take one day off for contrast, because what's going to happen, we do mental conditioning during train sessions. What's going to happen is you are going to feel awesome when you train. It's like a Tony Robbins seminar without Tony, which is a high level of self-mastery. Self-mastery is really where you have the belief in that you absolutely own it, that all I need is within me now. So many times we're like, oh, I need coffee in order to do this. I need this to happen. Like the sun needs to be out for me to go for a run. Like we have all these stories of limitation. So our first belief, our number one rule is that self-mastery is the gateway to living greatly. Self-mastery is the gateway to living greatly. And self-mastery is really the awareness, control, and eventual mastery of three things. The Trinity, the trilogy of thoughts, emotions, and actions. Those are the three things we can actually control. But they are skill sets. During these 30 days, I will be reinforcing what you have learned already and some more things, spoken in different ways in different stories. Things I learned from Tony, things I've learned from working with champion athletes and everyday people. But I'm going to share those with you. So I just want to let you know that I'm going to give you everything you need. But don't try to be perfect. This is a huge pattern we see in this group. I used to do it all the time. I was the worst. And so I would say things that sounded cool, like I'm all in or all out, which basically meant I'm 100% or I'm 0%. If you add that all up, it's not very good. I'm not getting a passing grade. I'm like 50%. And in order to get progress, we need to be at least 51%. We don't need to be perfect. Like 80% is greater than 100%. Remember that phrase, because I'm going to come back to it in a week or so, and I'm going to explain what that means, and then it will make much more sense as long as you do the training. Don't be perfect with your training, so I'm going to tell you what it really takes. There are just a couple things that you need to do right now, and we're going to build upon this. How do you know if you had a successful training session? Well, there are indicators. There's two questions you ask. Did you challenge yourself? So did I challenge myself today? Well, how do I know if I challenge myself? Well, here are 4 success indicators. It's called the BOSS principle. B, burn. Did your muscles burn from exertion? If that's the case, you produce something called lactate. And when that occurs, your body produces higher amounts of growth hormone, which is the hormone which allows you to burn fat, turn back the clock, build lean muscle. A lot of great things happen. We can create our own. We don't need to take it. We can actually just make it, but it's not free. It must be earned through exertion. Challenge creates change. That's the principle. and we must be consistent and relentless. So if the muscles are burning, that's the first success indicator. Second one, O, out of breath. Are you exerting yourself to the point where you're getting out of breath? That is important. That's challenging your lungs and your heart, and thus they will get stronger. The first S is sweat. When you contract muscles by challenging them, a byproduct is heat. And when you do that enough, you will start to sweat. And that creates a host of other benefits as well. The last S is struggle. You've already heard it. Struggle is really what I mean by that is challenge. Challenge creates change. You want to stimulate the body, not annihilate it though. So if you haven't been training this way or training consistently, don't start and just obliterate yourself. Because when you train, you actually damage tissue. And what happens is we want to challenge it. We do want to damage a little bit of tissue, make the body uncomfortable. And when it does that, it will get stronger. You will burn fat, you will build muscle, but it's only a little bit each day. So you got to do enough days. You got to be super consistent. And the only way anyone's going to be consistent is if you learn to love this shit. It may sound crazy, but in order to really live life the way you want to, if you've been to Tony's event, you are a different type of person. And I know you because I was that person. I sat in that room many times. I helped build the fires. I've done this thing. Now I'm backstage with Tony doing the same thing I was, just in a different spot in the building. And so what it comes down to this, you got to learn to love this shit. So the first question is, did you challenge yourself? Then you looked at the boss principle, check those boxes. Did you get at least one of those? Great. Second one, did you summon the lion? Did you summon your highest and best self? And how do you know that? How do you feel? Are you in love-based emotional states? Like, do you feel strong? Do you feel energized? Do you feel powerful? Do you feel courageous? Do you feel bold? Are you ready to take action? Do you feel appreciation and gratitude that you have a body that serves you and a mind that is able and capable of creating what you want? We have these things, and it's a beautiful thing. But if you summoned the lion, your best self, the real you, your true self, you're going to feel those emotional states. You're not going to feel like you won't feel overwhelmed. You're not going to feel angry. You're not going to feel sad or depressed. In fact, training the way we do, just exercise in general of any type, but training the way we do has a magnified effect on this, that it outperforms every antidepressant on the market by like 1.5 times. That's a newer study that just came out. But keep that in mind. So how did you know if you're going to wake up 6 times a week and you're going to joyfully step into discomfort? And over time, that's going to change your perception of problems, of challenge, of obstacles. You're not going to say like, oh shit, not again. Instead, you're going to say, oh, I got this. Let's do this. Let's create a masterpiece out of this. Let's see what we can do. That's the mindset. And so you already have this in you. But all we're doing is training it to call it forth when you need it most. And the only way to do that is through a daily discipline of training. By now, you may understand that this is not a typical exercise program. In fact, we do not exercise, we train. What do I mean by that? A lot of people exercise. They just kind of like, I'll go for a walk. I'll go take this class. I'll go do it. It's random. It's not a system. They're not going to make progress in the long term. And more often than not, they fall in love with a handful of things that leads to overuse injuries. Now they have pain and discomfort. And now while they're training, they're programming themselves, ouch, ouch, oh, this hurts, it hurts. And then that little voice in the back of your head starts to encourage you not to train, to skip workouts, because you've programmed yourself while you're training. We do things different. So what is training? You might want to write this down, because you're not going to hear it anywhere else. This is exactly what you need. This is exactly what I needed, and so many others. Training is when you intelligently and strategically challenge your mind and body to access your highest and best self, what I call the lion. You see, we all have a fear-based self, which I call the lamb because it's a fearful creature. And then you have a love-based self, who you really are. That's your natural essence. That's where we create energy, we generate energy, we heal. It's when we do great things and we feel good about ourselves and we really serve. We make the world a better place. That's in love-based emotional states. That is your true nature. You were born a lion. But a lot of us, I think everyone I ever met, myself included, learned to become a fearful lamb. You see, we develop most of our beliefs by the age of 7. And unless you're people like us that go to events and are aware of these things and we know that we can change these beliefs and change our reality, you become a victim if you don't know these things. So we don't want to judge anyone else that doesn't do this. We want to live our lives in a way that inspires people to ask questions, inspires people to say, hey, maybe it is possible for me to change my life and really make a difference. That's what this is about. But the daily discipline that allows you to access that part of you is the training. So what you focus on and what you think about as you train plays a very important role, because you are programming yourself. Humans are programmable. We all know that. If you hear something that outrages you and you hear it again and again and again and everyone's talking about it, it starts to change how you feel. And if you keep really grinding on things, you start to create stories in your mind about, oh, those people are like this. The government is like that. This is this, that is that. And it becomes an emotional response instead of what's actually based on truth. Now, I'm not going to go too far into the psychology of transformation right now, but we're going to get into this. And I'm just giving you a little appetizer of what's to come, a little bit of here and there. This week, just make it about getting these 6 training sessions in and ask those 2 questions. Did I challenge myself? Did the muscles burn? Did I get out of breath? Did I sweat? Did I struggle a bit? Challenge creates change. And then, did I summon the lion? My highest and best self? Do I feel ready to take on the day? Do I feel appreciative? Do I feel love-based emotional states? Yes, mission accomplished, you crushed it. Now carry that with you. And when you train this way, the research is really clear. 1 single dose of this will improve your decision-making, your cognitive function, your memory, and your learning. It actually changes shape and function of your brain. 1 single dose. And decision-making improves up to 4 to 6 hours after a single bout of training, the way we do. All right, my friends, I got to get going here. I'm glad you're taking this challenge. And now, schedule your workouts, have a plan. Don't put this off. You need to train in the morning, and you need to summon your highest and best self, the lion within, the real you. Let's do it. You tap into the real you, but you have to retrain yourself. The way you retrain yourself is you wake your ass up in the morning and you say, I am here for a reason and a purpose. And it's bigger than my moods. It's bigger than the difficulties of the day. I am here to live like a lion, not the fear of a lamb.